Oh, got to put some color on. Oops. Excuse me, everybody. Welcome. I just got up an hour ago trying to suck down coffee, make myself presentable. And Moira, I think, is here. I know
Hi.
Jax was like, I thought this was 8 o'clock. Well, originally it was 7. And then
And I had to move it to 8.
and then I'm out going, wait a minute, 8. Oh, yeah. So I got home 8 o'clock. We're good to go. And then thank God my alarm went off. I got my ass up and looked at something told me to look at my notifications. So I was getting a bunch of them. Like, what is this? Miss Trudy was on Grace. I'm like, oh no. So I said, Kristen, can we bump it an extra half hour just so we can enjoy some of the conversation, her and Grace were having? And she's like, sure. So we're here. So I highly recommend, even on playback, great conversation about the goddess Befana, and the Italian tradition. So it's wonderful. But Kristen and I are here. It's the full moon. And I invited Kristen kind of last minute saying, hey, you feel like you might want to do, some full moon readings? And she was like, sure.
Sure, why not?
Because a lot of times she's busy, like you were saying backstage
Yeah.
on the weekends. And so I got my beautiful moon water right here. Everybody, just wanted to share this beautiful bowl and pitcher set that I got a couple of years ago in New York. And I got a brand new canvas today.
Yay.
So this water is going to be used for, that new painting. I wanted to share that with everybody. And Kristen has a little bit of information on Wolf Moon, where we kind of get that. And I have my cafe astrology, and like most of us, some people that pop up in my chat, they know a lot more about astrology than I do.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong. So don't feel bad, Kristen, when you say
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's amazing. I took a workshop in November and they were teaching a Hellenistic based, no, it was called a whole sign version of it. And I'm like, but what about this and that? No, we're not covering that. But I heard this in my chart. No. That's not how. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh God.
So there's a lot of different.
Yeah. And there's the Vedic. Differently, there's a Vedic astrology, and so your signs are different in that than
real sky.
Yeah, like real sky. I think that's the Vedic, isn't it? Or similar to Vedic? I don't know.
Vedic is Hindu based.
Yeah.
Like Michelle Marie, she's all about the Vedic.
Yeah.
The real sky is, what people like to look at it from the perspective of ancient Egypt, I believe.
Okay.
And then there is the regular tropical that we're all raised with, that we're familiar with. And then there's a Hellenistic. And then I was told, during that workshop, we were going to look at like a whole sign astrology. And then when I was telling Amy, Esoteric Rose, Amy changed her name, Esoteric Rose Tarot. She lives here in Ashland. When I met with her at one point, she was like, well, just start with, esoteric astrology. And I'm like, oh my God, there's too many. There we go. Moira said, I study whole sign and Hellenistic. And that's what they recommended, the workshop that I took. They said, first learn and develop your relationship with, the 7 main in our solar system, in our body, to learn how, to recognize their energy. And they even refer to them as, like God, not we'll say like God-like quality, but they have a conscience, excuse me. They're our teachers, they're sentient, we're all here for a reason, to be in our solar system. They're here to help us, guide us through our walk. And I just thought that was beautiful. That blew my mind away. And I'm like, that's why at some point I do need to study a little bit more about the astrology, because to think of those amazing planets having, consciousness and having a purpose to help us, I was like, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. Yeah.
So we have Moira. Polly just popped in. Hello, Polly. And the whole sign is just another house system. Yep. And we have Mama Sushi. Much love to you and new little baby Rowan. Let's see, did I miss anybody while I was
My friends just had a baby and named him Rowan. That's funny.
Oh, and this is a girl Rowan. So yeah, it's
okay.
a very cool name that it's a unisex name.
Yeah, that's why they picked it.
When I hear Rowan, I think of the little Rowan berries or something. I think there's a tree with the Rowan that has berries on it. Let's see, astrology podcast with Chris Brennan on YT is the best. When people start talking about it, my brain just glazes over. Sometimes I like Kristen and I were talking backstage, and I think a lot of times the full moons will amplify this for me. It's hard for me to focus. It's hard for me to concentrate. Information feels like it's being scattered. Like last night, I couldn't fall asleep. I had to take another one of my night pills. It was just like no matter how time I tried shutting the brain down, all these different things just kept like, zzz, and I was like, oh my God, it's got to be the full moon.
Yeah.
And so with information like that, it's something that I need to have in a book or something that I can slowly, read and process. But we'll definitely keep that in mind, Moira. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Astrology is like me listening to someone lecture about trigonometry. I'm like, what? Like eventually, like they get to this level where I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So, yeah.
When you talk about, oh, what's your rising sign? Oh, I know that. What's your moon sign? Yeah. Oh, I know that. Or basic trait. Then they start talking about, well, my house is in the third. This is in my third house with so many degrees. And I'm like, all right, already we're done.
Yeah, same.
But like I told Kristen, I love cafe astrology. She will mention a conjunction or whatever it is, but then she'll explain the energies around that. And we are having a full moon tonight in Cancer. They call it a super moon, but Kristen and I were talking backstage, and it doesn't look like a super moon here. Maybe in some areas. I don't know.
I haven't looked at it tonight. Last night it didn't look like a super moon to me.
It was beautiful, but it wasn't like, up in the face. So I'll have to maybe look. But we got rain again tonight, so I don't know what I'll be able to see, but it did go full at 5:03 Eastern Standard Time for y'all on Eastern. And it's in the sign of Cancer, which we know is a water sign, the little pinchers. And it says here, let's see, the sun in Capricorn forms an opposition to the moon in Cancer. So what I like, she stops there and then she explains, this is the time of culmination and the promise of fulfillment that which started at the new moon. Got that. It's emotional time for romance, fertilization, and relationships, which makes sense because our ancestors, during this time of year, it was so cold, they had to stay locked up. So what you going to do?
What are you going to do? Tell stories and do what you do.
Do what you do. So, a lot of babies, were conceived during the cold winter months. Moira says it looks huge where she is. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Canada. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to take out a look later tonight if the clouds, part. So yeah, I totally understand that in relationships because you're on top of one another, trying to survive those last 2, months. We had Yule, the sun rose, so we knew that we were going to see another year, live another day. But yeah, and then they talk about the Cancer Capricorn polarity deals with the balance between our private life, domesticity, and the need for a home base and nurturance, which is represented by Cancer. So Cancer and nurturance. I usually have my heavenly bodies deck out, but after last Saturday's scavenger hunt, my my decks are an absolute mess. So didn't quite have the motivation to pull that out. But it talks about, the versus public life, career, reputation, and basically accountability, which is, what Capricorn brings. So They talk about, so the Cancer moon encourages us to value our home base and our roots. And they were just talking about that too, our ancestral work and our roots and things
Mm-hmm.
on Miss Terry's channel. And let's see, the polarity between unconditional love and conditional love. So we
Interesting.
still have that to go through. So let's see.
Yeah.
It's hard because sometimes when you grow up, you don't realize someone else's love is conditional until you get to a certain age, and then you're like, wait a minute, what?
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
So we've all experienced this, I'm sure with somebody in our life, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's a close friend, partner, or family. And I also, jumping down because I don't want to read the whole article. And it says here, this full moon is about balancing our commitment to our career and families. Something has been building inside of us, and now is the time when the energy of the cosmos fairly demands that we let it out. The next 2 weeks, we will discover what this means for us. For now, we can't sit on our feelings. So, again, this is a good time for retrospection, introspection. Connecting with ourselves, what we want for ourselves in the upcoming year, and for pushing a push for considering our emotional needs. You know, I keep quoting, and I love the quote that Miss Tarot D shared. At this time of year, self care isn't vanity; it's sanity. Because we
Mm-hmm.
really, in talking about the holidays and everything that we put ourselves through, emotionally, financially, spirit. I mean, it's just so. January, Grace was referring to as a time known as the blue moon because of people feeling just like the holidays, and then boom, you're dropped, and a lot of people tend to sometimes feel down. And so, for me, it's just like I always kind of see it now as, oh, it's a month to recuperate, so for me, it was never really, for me personally, it was never about
Mm-hmm.
feeling, blue or rejected or anything like that, or depressed or sad. Sometimes a lot of that happens for a lot of us during the holidays. So for me, the January was always a time when, time to recuperate, and time to get back on with life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my husband has seasonal affective disorder, so the winters are awful for him. Awful, awful. Yeah.
now for me, it's the opposite. It's the summers.
Mm.
I always have my struggle, mental struggle and stuff during the summer. I can't take too much sun, too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love the sun and beautiful weather, but when it gets so intense for those, 2 months, it
Mm-hmm.
really, especially August. I've
Yeah.
had really bad experiences in July and especially in August for my mental. So for me, I'm kind of like the opposite. There are some
Yeah.
people who are, different like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and let's see, that's what she said. Yep. And Gypsy says, are you having a baby? She already had her baby. She has Aurora, and now she has little Rowan that she just welcomed last year. And Blue Moon is the second full moon within the same month. She was,
Oh, okay.
she was mentioning one of the second or third moons in the month of January. Maybe they refer to as a blue moon because at that point people are starting to feel like your husband, that strain a lot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's pretty much what it just talks about finding a balance, being family centered or yourself centered, getting yourself grounded, finding who you are, and to tap into creativity. Right now we have that time. This is time for personal growth, and yeah, and then I'll just open it up to you about the wolf moon.
Well, I'm no expert. I don't think anyone is. No one knows like specifically what each moon, where the origin of it that I can tell. But my understanding is the wolf moon comes from Algonquin, the Algonquin tribes. Algonquin is a language family of indigenous or native tribes. And the Shawnee are the one I know the best because they were in Ohio and I'm in Ohio. But yeah, like a lot of they come from just Native American ideas, about like, how do the wolves act right now? They howl to communicate, and I read that there's this idea that they howl because they're hungry and because it's the middle of winter, but actually they howl to communicate with each other.
Yep.
So yeah, so there's just a lot of noise coming from wolves at this time. So yeah, that's all I know.
Well, I know a lot of people don't like AI, but actually Copilot's not bad because when you type something in, they hit several references and they put it into a nice little summary that you can expand on. And it says here the term wolf moon originates from Native American tribes and or if some people prefer indigenous American tribes, particularly those in the northern and eastern United States. During January, the cold winter nights often led to increased wolf activity with packs howling in hunger. This phenomenon prompted villagers to name the first full moon of the year Wolf Moon. It was also referred to as the Old Moon or the moon after Yule in some cultures. Um, they talk about again a little bit. The wolf represented a time for spiritual awakening, connection with nature. Wolves were seen as symbols of loyalty. Oh, we all know about the loyalty of the wolves, intuition, and protection. The howling of wolves during this time was believed to be a form of communication with the spirit world, and that could very well too. The howling, trying to help locate with their pack, possibly prey, because by then there were a lot of animals that were just struggling to survive through the winter. And I think those both could possibly be true. Them howling to each other, maybe during hunts, to find where they're located and maybe see if they're finding any prey so that they can feed their pack and their babies if they had any. Okay, I didn't know if you want to add something. I wanted to make sure I didn't interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine.
So go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say that I had to look up what the Norse moon's names were, after Yule. I was like, well, there's got to be a name. So apparently there's two of them. Oh God, try to pronounce Old Norse. Solmanether, which is sun moon, or Mercer, which is fat sucking moon, which is interesting.
Fat sucking moon.
Fat
Mercer?
sucking.
I know some fat sucking.
Yeah. A name suggesting the scarcity of food and loss of fat before spring. So it sucks the fat off you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's where those stored, for the feasting for Yule and everything. People during those festivals, you better, and you didn't want your food to go bad. So that's where at that one point, it's just like feast or famine. Are you going to survive? And that's how a lot of our ancestors and here in Celtic mythology, the wolf moon was associated with the goddess Caradwen, who represented wisdom and transformation. The Celts believed that during this moon phase, Caradwen's power peaked, making it an ideal time for personal growth and embracing change, just like what it says in the astrology and in understanding the signs and the planets. And I'm just looking to see if there was any. It's just the symbolism across cultures. The same thing: strength, loyalty, guardianship, personal empowerment. And so, also heightened emotions and increased intuition, especially now with it being Cancer, being a water sign. So, to see what Moira said.
the lifeless.
Well, that would be an interesting deck to put out. You got numerology, and then you've got the what the numerology, and it's like liposuction or cracking. And this is something interesting that Amanda shared. Snow dampens sound, so maybe the wolves were the loudest sound around.
Maybe.
Maybe.
This makes sense.
I like how we think. We will have, so we're actually going to have a traditional blue moon at the end of May. All righty. Very cool. So before we go on, I just want to make sure that all of I just love when people put link trees together. I have a link tree. I haven't used it in like 2 years. I get confused with all that stuff, but Kristen has a link tree. So I put that in the description and you just go to that and it will take you to her Star Root Oracle, the book that goes with it, to her channel. I mean, everything that you need. Well, I have your channel in the description, but all the things that Kristen offers. Wait, do you have a website yet? I didn't. I was just
Mm-mm.
really
Like
fast.
for reading? No. Mm-mm.
No, but if you want
No.
readings, her email is included in that
Yeah.
for personal readings as well.
I
So
should check out my link tree. I haven't looked at it in ages, so I should make sure that's all up to date. Yeah.
it's always good to check.
Yeah.
So usually I like to do theme based, but this was kind of like spur, and then we had to go out to Medford today to shop. So what I think I'm just going. Do I have something here that says full moon readings? No, I don't. So I'm just going to type in a little banner for full moon readings. And if anybody would like one, all they have to do is they have to type the good old fashioned me in there. I try to keep it simple because that's the best for
Yeah.
other these days. Let's see. No, wait a minute. No, you were supposed to. Scroll. I have to hit the scroll. Then I have to hit the banner. Come on. Now, why are they not? No, now they're not doing it. Seriously?
Do you have to do it over again?
StreamYard keeps screwing around. Let's see. I want to hit edit. No. No, I don't want to enter. Here we go. Oh, for the love of insert. You want to insert there. Alrighty. Now, there we go.
Cool.
This me and technology. So I already got a bunch of me's. So let me grab my I keep a little scratch pad here for everybody. So full moon reading. So we'll be looking at the energies associated, and when we pull cards, see how that connects. So let me write down. I keep looking up more, and I keep saying liposuction.
Yeah, the
Like I can't
liposuction
keep a straight face.
phase.
Gypsy would like one. So this is like this is the full moon of, with the wolves, loyalty and, and for people with the astrology, introspection and things. So we can kind of look at the readings, the messages through this lens, and this may have a different message that comes out. So,
Yeah, mention relationships.
something, yeah, in that one thing and talked about relationships with the Cancer,
Mm-hmm.
with the Cancer polarity thing. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about relationships. Here, let me pull that back up again. So, or did I get rid of it? Hello, where are you? So, Kate talks about commitment to family and career relationships. With so much attention to our relationships, careers, and personal plans these days, pushing first, considering our emotional needs now. So actually, this may seem more of a personal, about goal setting. So I was thinking about how it connected though with the wolf moon, which I thought was very interesting because of a time of romance, fertilization, and relationships. This has to do with so the Cancer Capricorn, again, polarity deals with the balance between the private life, domesticity, and the need for a home base and nurturance, represented by Cancer, versus the public life of life, career, reputation, and accountability by Capricorn. So relationships, maybe more of a, focusing on ourselves, our own
Mhm.
relationship with ourselves. And this does affect others, yes. Um, but one other thing here that I didn't see before, she writes, our revelations are pivotal and growth oriented. So again, this is a time to make notable connections with ourselves, with others, and setting our goals and intentions. So that's the vibe of the full moon readings then for tonight.
That's a lot.
But we'll just see how things go. But
Yeah. We'll see what comes out.
every time I see someone write me, I write down me on the list. I'm like, wait a minute, who's me? Okay, first one up is Moira.
Woo. Cool.
So
Let's see what deck should I
I
use.
brought a couple different decks. I haven't used the secret language of light in a while. These cards are freaking huge and they're thick. Look how big. Here, let me turn this around. Look how big these cards are.
Oh wow.
And look how thick they are.
Oh
So
my.
beautiful. These were a gift. The secret language of light and darkness were gifts from Ramon earlier this year, and I've been wanting to use them, but they're so hard
Big.
to shuffle.
Yes.
Oh, those are big. Yeah, these are Miss Tarot D size. Sure, like, oh,
Ooh, I like those. I like it big.
like it. So, all right. So Moira. So for full moon, Moira. What are we? Ooh. Need to manifest and focus on. See, I'm more of a new moon kind of girl. That's where my energy is at. All right, I'm going to use the book because I haven't picked these cards up in a while. It's just hard when people write like 2 pages of information just for one card. I'm like, condensation? There. Oh, this is very interesting though. So you want to go first? I always like to let my guests go first, unless you're still pulling cards.
I think I could go.
Okay.
Okay, so the overall message that I'm getting is prioritizing you. We have the Eight of Cups coming out, so you need to walk away from something. There's something emotionally heavy in your life that you need to leave behind. You know, they might be difficult to leave it behind, but it's something that you must do for your own benefit. I mean, that could be anything from relationships with other people. It could be, you know, how you treat yourself, some sort of emotional distortion that you might be, you know, partaking in. And so the next card we get is the Five of Pentacles, and this is the card of lack, of want, of need, and feeling like there's something missing there, like you need something fulfilling. And so I think this is calling you to really find fulfillment within yourself, not to look to the opinions of other people, you know, not to look at the opinions of your family, you know, try to find that, not that that's a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying that that should never be the case. Because I think having family, you know, pride is a wonderful feeling. But there is something to say about being able to stand on your own and to say, you know what, this is me, you know, I'm a badass, I've done this, I've achieved all this, and I've done it myself. You got the Ten of Cups next, and this is a card of happiness, of joy, of you know, perfect joy. But I see it in this reading as saying, you know, find that joy from within. And like, this is like a family, like, so it's about relationships traditionally, but I'm going to read this as it's above and beyond relationships with other people. It's relationship with yourself. So this is just about cultivating and prioritizing, putting yourself first and your own, needs and wants and desires, and not sublimating them, not suppressing them, not ignoring them, and just really be able to open your mouth and say, like, this is my need and this is my desire, this is my want, and being okay with that. The next card you got from the Prairie Majesty Oracle is what reminds me I'm free. You got the Liberate card. So what reminds me I'm free? So free from what? Only you know. Only you know what reminds you that you are free from shackles, emotional shackles, shackles from the past. What reminds you that that can no longer hurt you? What reminds you that you have power to make changes in your life? Look to those, journal on it to see, like, what are my anchors in life to show me, you know what, I got this. I got this. This is proof. This is evidence. This is my support system. This is what I've done. So on and so forth. Oh, my earbud fell out. I got tiny ears, and so they
I have
don't.
the wrong banner on.
What?
I have the wrong banner on. I apologize. That's weird.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It just started playing music. I don't know. Okay, my final card. I got a final card, and it's Yang Moon Strength. So you got the Yang Moon Strength. This person is all by themselves. They are strong on their own. They might want support from others. They don't always need support from others because they are strong within themselves. They know themselves. So this is a reading of identity and of prioritizing yourself. So that's the reading I have.
Wow, I love that. And sorry, everybody, about the confusion. I had the banner on thinking it was going. It put the other one from the other day up. I mean,
Oh.
So now we have the right one. So for people coming in, full moon readings tonight, type me. And Moira says, resonates totally, Kristen. Freedom is my word for the year.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I was doing some words of the year last night for fun. And that was that kind of goes. I can't even remember what cards people get, because it's like once the cards come out, the messages come up, then boom, that's it. They're gone, So Moira, very similar cards or similar messages in these cards for you. So from the Secret Language of Light, I got the variance card. And I'm sorry about the glare. See if I can do that. Maybe I'll take some of that glare off. So a little bit. There we go. So you got the variance, and it's the differing perceptions of ego and soul. And so I love how she opens this right up with, today you may not feel like yourself. You and your soul are looking at the same thing, but seeing it differently. Your emotions and reactions are a combination of your thoughts and your soul's thoughts. And when they don't align, you feel wobbly. No limiting beliefs or patterns are triggered, but there is a feeling that all is well. Your soul will never join you in judgment, blame, or hurt, because it is not the truth of who you are. It is not the perspective of love. So that's just beautiful. And it says here too, if you are experiencing something that doesn't feel quite right, take a breath and come back to your center. And yes, because I got, following through with that, the 6 of Winter Swords. And so that is moving forward, going through, the choppy waters, heading towards that light. And for me, that feels like that's the alignment that they're talking about between your ego and your soul, and finding that beautiful alignment. The boat might be a little rocky, but you are in charge of this boat, and you are guiding yourself to the safety, to the light. You're following the light. You're following your light. And you're not afraid of the storm. You're actually taking that energy, the energy of that lightning. You're taking the power of the surging of the waves, and you're using that to carry you forward and across. And your underlying card, again, the Chariot, so more moving. So this is that beautiful balance. Again, you got the two swans, the black and the white swans. So finding that balance, taking control, and moving forward with your life. And I was drawn to pull a card from the Emerald Papyrus, and you got the Hierophant. And so that Hierophant is, it's acknowledging that, I don't know if you're in search of the keys, but if you're searching for the knowledge, the keys to unlock who you are and to find and bring yourself into alignment and back to center, remember too, a lot of times those keys are within ourselves. But for me, the Hierophant too, that mentorship, that spiritual learning, especially in this deck. So tapping in, looking for those keys of wisdom. But remember, we all have the High Priestess, and a lot of those keys, that knowledge, that wisdom is already in us, Moira. So perhaps this search for those keys for spiritual enlightenment, spiritual discovery, and working on aligning that ego and your soul, and not judging them, bringing them together. And that's what I have for you for full moon, my dear. Cool. I just love how those cards, you say you're moving away, you're freedom. And I mean, yeah, there's the freedom right there. You're going, you're on the move, girl. I just love that. Love, 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 love. Heather, I think you pulled 8 of Cups. I did. I pulled the 8 of Cups for her yesterday. I was using my my Baroque tarot. So yes. Let's see. Sybil asked to be added, so I'll put Sybil on the list.
The 8 of Cups has been stalking me, so I get
that's
it.
one of those stalking cards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Glorious is here. Hello, Glorious. And Brianne, Happy New Year, my dear. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for popping in. And for, people who are new to my channel, a lot of times when we do these mini readings, we're all coming from the collective. So there are always messages that we can take from other people's readings as well. So thank you, everybody, for being here. So up next is Gypsy JJ. Or I just call her Gypsy. Sometimes I call her Gypsy, sometimes not. JJ. It is what it is. So do you want me to put her name up on the screen for you? Does that help you?
Sure, yeah.
See, I gotta find where I last saw her. So I know she's lurking. There she goes.
There.
All right. Oh, these cards. The one thing I will say about these cards, though, is the image goes all the way to the edge of the cards, which I love. There's no unnecessary borders.
I have that problem with the Scarab and Dahlia. It's so big that it's hard for me to get my fingers around. It's painful.
Ooh. I do that all the time. Ooh.
I think this deck isn't shuffled enough. This is one of my new decks, and I don't think it's shuffled enough.
You got a lot of cool decks.
Yeah.
One of them is out of print that I went looking for.
What?
Let's see. There was one that you had. It was like a gothic, kind of dark, but it was kind of cool. And I remember when I went to go look for it, it was just like, nope, no longer available. And I went, shit.
Oh, I wonder what.
I don't know. There's been several decks that you've had that I really liked, unless that was somebody else's deck. I don't know. I don't mean to distract you. Sorry about that. Again, Heather's brain tonight. Try to blame it on the full moon. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to change my email address because my email address has changed. So 9world77 was my old email. It's now 9worlds Tarot. So at
Oh,
Gmail, I'll have to change that.
okay.
Fix that somewhere. I'm sure it's in my link tree too. I bet it is.
Yeah, I got to update a lot now too because of the new laptop, and I'm still fighting with trying to go from. I was never good with an Apple computer, but I could get my way around with the iPad and the phone. But now going back to Windows, it's like, anyway, go ahead. I digress. Oh, so she's Kristen's still shuffling. So Gypsy, I'm going to jump off and get started. So you got divine animals and soul companions on your journey. So Gypsy, I hope you're still here, my dear. So here, let me just take Gypsy down for just a second. Oops, nope, that's not doing that. Here. So Gypsy, divine animals. Of course, they use the Leo, the lion. So I don't know if you know anybody in your life that could possibly resonate with the Leo in this card, but very beautiful. And these refer to the soul companions on our journey because we have animal totems. And it says here, spend time with your pet or in the company of any animal to realize the same light that flows through you flows through all living creatures. So this is the connection of our brothers and sisters that they're referred to as in a lot of indigenous people and our ancestors, the animals, the planet, the earth. They're our brother, they're our kin. I'm looking to see what really jumps out from this book. When we are around animals, it's easier to move into alignment where we can be inspired to grander creations. That's beautiful, and they just acknowledge that because animals are already in alignment with pure love and energy. That when we are in alignment, they see that within us, and we connect with them. That's really really beautiful. Um, It says here too, let's see, and as an animal is more likely to be aligned with its soul instinct and doesn't need you to be different for who you are for it to feel loved, you will feel free to be who you are. When you emulate this behavior for yourself, so we're looking at how animals look at us with unconditional love. When we look at ourselves with unconditional love, this makes us feel better about ourselves. Our relationships are more loving. Our relationship with ourself is more loving. And it just, I love how they say, well, catapult. I almost like caterpillar. That's interesting. Catapult to a whole new level of joy. But again, when you go in and you create that cocoon and you emerge, giving yourself that unconditional love. And so connecting with divine animals, animal totems in your, I don't know if you're connected to any animal totems, but even pets, just when you have those moments where you feel like you don't deserve love or you feel down, to connect to, animal. And if you don't have an animal, a pet, going out into nature and maybe, you know, connecting with them out in the wild. So for your tarot for this new moon, also I got the Winter Chariot for you. So another card about taking control and moving yourself forward. You have the balance, you have the guidance, and I love that with this chariot, she is flying high, and with the balance between the light and the dark, that's amazing. Balancing the light with our shadow, and our divine animals can help us with that as well. And so you're free flowing through the air. This is beautiful movement towards beautiful things, especially at this full moon, and having that energy carry you through this month. Your underlying is the Seven of Winter Pentacles. So, there are going to be things that you're working on that you want to see harvested or manifested, but this is all about patience. It's taking time to prepare things, taking time to plant seeds. You have to wait till they grow. You got to water them. You got to nourish them. And we can't rush their growth, because if we rush anything, we could ruin it. So taking the time to have that patience to let things grow naturally on their own. And I know this little guy here in the picture is so cute because it's like, I want my food now, but no, you got to wait. I got to prepare it. I got to make it. So it's a beautiful little, and again, there's the animal. So maybe with your divine animals, I don't know if you're connected to swan, you want to study swan, or maybe even fox energy. And your emerald papyrus is the 10 of vessels, which is the 10 of cups. And again, that celebration of joy, happiness, success with, and loving success with others. Kristen had gotten the 10 of cups for last reading. And so it's about that emotional joy and connection that we have with ourselves and with others. But really, with this deck, we're looking at ourselves, making sure that we allow ourselves, to feel that same joy, love, compassion, and again, unconditional love for ourselves, and learning how to trust in our intuition too, as well. Diving deep into those emotions, my dear. And that's what I have for you. And Kristen?
Okay. There's two different ways that I could read this, literally or figuratively, or kind of, sort of. First, I want to know, do you practice any sort of magical practice? If you could answer that, that'll help me decide on how to read this.
Let's see. She says, I am a lion. Okay. So, yes, Gypsy. Well, Gypsy is in a way a magician because she's a musician. And so she
Oh,
knows how to create sound and
yeah.
music.
Okay.
But I don't know if Gypsy, if you do anything on a spiritual practice like that. I don't know that about you. So, Gypsy, do you practice? Do you do magical work? You may just have to go and read.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just jump into the reading. So first you got the King of Swords, and this is a man or woman, non-binary. Sorry, this always happens to me. This is an individual who has a moral authority over their life.
She wants to.
Oh, okay, yeah. This person has a like you have a moral authority over your life. Like what you choose for you is right for you, and what you need to do in your life to be fulfilled in your life. And then you got the Eight of Pentacles, and this is a card of tenacious work, of doing it over and over and over again until you get it perfected. And if you're a musician, this makes sense. Like in order to learn an instrument and the theory of music, I mean, that just takes a lot of repetition to be able to become an expert in whatever instrument that you are playing. And so I think this is in reference to, yeah, I think this is in reference to, making sure that you are prioritizing what is best for you and working on it. People see self-care as taking a bubble bath, coloring, relaxing, which is all those things can be self-care, but sometimes putting in the work. So at the end of the day, you're like, I did that, is really where the authority emotions come from in your life. You say, I have authority over my life, and I've done this. I've succeeded in this. So you got the Magician next. And I think this card is just a nod to you having this deck is ridiculous. The magician says to me that you have all the tools in the toolbox. Like you have whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, it's in you. You don't have to look outside yourself. It's in you. I don't know if you ever deal with self-doubt, self-criticism. This is a card just giving you a nod saying you are more powerful than you think, more influential over the terrain of your life. than you think. And then the next card you get is the witch, which is why I asked the question whether you practiced magic. And it says, the magic you seek is inside of you. Let it flow. So let it flow. Let that music flow. Like whatever, beautiful instrument you play, just let it go. Do the work and really prioritize whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it's through the music or something else. I don't know the ins and outs of your life. I don't know your relationship to your music. I don't know if it's something that you love or something that just is. But if your music is something that you love, I think this reading is just saying, the reading is saying, do whatever it is that makes you happy. I mean, that's plain and simple. Do whatever it is that makes you happy, even if it takes work to get there. And that's got to be hard because I personally really struggle with thinking way in the future and say, oh, what I do now, the work I do now is going to benefit me in the future, even if it doesn't benefit me now. I really struggle with that. So if you're able to do that, kudos to you. So the last card you got was Moon Madness. This is completely left field. Avoid drama. I don't know. So avoid drama. So it's saying, don't let the ins and outs of strife and gossip or negativity in other people's lives get in the way of where you want to go. So yeah, that's the reading I have. So
alrighty, I was just looking for a book, and oh my god, my mom used to have a saying, saying to me, she goes, if it was a snake, it bites you on the ass. I was walking around looking for the book, and I'm like, it was sitting right next to me. So thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Gypsy. And Gloria says that we are both very good readers. Well,
thank you.
Are you planning on doing any more of those fairs and things? You were starting to teach in public, and you're starting to.
I mean, I'll teach and do like I do it at a university, but I don't think I'm going to read at fairs anymore. That was very boring. I have ADHD. To sit there and just wait for someone to come up to you to get a reading for hours is torture. I was like, once I earned back what I paid for the spot, I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this. I can't sit here. So,
gotcha.
Yeah,
understandable. And yeah. Gypsy said, "I love that. Thank you, ladies, so much."
Oh, you're welcome.
Are welcome. I know, Brianne, that one card she had with the green, with the greens in it. They were really pretty.
Yeah, the witch card. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So up next is Jax. That's Jacqueline. Well, that's Mangled Unicorn. She's my mod extraordinary here. Just call her Jax.
So thank you. She fixed it. Thank you.
And Polly, I did have you added. And again, if anybody who's asked for a reading, if you can't stay for the reading, please let Kristen and I know so that we could take you off the list. And that might open a slot for somebody who would like one. And Mona is here. Hello, Mona. And I have cards already for Jax.
Wow.
So number 12. A lot of similar cards tonight. It's like I follow you. Like the last reading you had, there was a King of Swords. In this, reading for Jax, I'm like, that's weird. It's like I'm following behind you. Your cards for the next person. It's just the cards don't lie, as they say. Yes. So Whisper. So this is for Mangle Unicorn. This is for Jax, and you got Whispers. Okay, my dear. And it says tune into your soul voice. I like that. Your mind and heart are expanding to hear your soul whispers. You are or will find it easier to interpret and understand the vibes of your soul through how you feel. Yep, this is totally you. So I knew there was something else I'm being led to. This card is also prompting you to take notice of your dreams. When you are asleep, you cease conscious thought and resistance, making it easier for you to receive soul transmissions. If you embrace the messages that come through your dreams, you will invite more of the same. If you don't like a dream, see it as a sign to shift your focus or change a belief. So just like what Jackie B was saying, let me you get a card, it's not actually not a good energy or something that, I have the power. I'm going to change that. I do not own that. I have free will, and I'm going to make it my own. So that's beautiful. So just tuning in to your soul's voice, my dear. I know you have downtime now for relaxing, recuperating from your surgery and all. So maybe start finding time to take time for yourself and just meditate, listen, put headphones on, and just sit, listen to music or something to help you get into that space. I got the Master of Swords for you, and this is the base. This is the King of Swords, and again, this is somebody who is well grounded and connected to their thoughts and how they feel and how they communicate. But with that card, listen to your soul whispers. This feels very much as the energy of you taking control now of your spiritual journey and the thoughts that you allow and will not allow from like the negative chatter, or you'll be able to discern from what is that negative chatter compared to your guides when you start connecting. That King of Swords communicating, and this is what you've had. These are a lot of cards, similar cards you've gotten. You having to be the king, you having to be that stern, grounded, practical, having to think logically to get you through things. So right now, taking that practicality or that logic that says no, maybe not. Instead, use that sword to connect with your higher self, piercing that crown chakra and being grounded and connected and allowing for that conversations that you need. Your underlying energy is the Nine of Winter Swords. So, yes, there's a lot of stress that you've been going through, a lot of anxiety, difficulties. Similar cards that you've gotten, girl, but again, it's acknowledging this time that maybe writing down, like in that book just said, any negative dreams that you have or thoughts that you have, you take control of them, you redirect them, and you turn them into something that is positive. And your last card is the Goddess of Discs. And I believe in the deck, this is the Queen of Pentacles. And again, this is that grounded, nurturing energy that you are. So that same nurturing energy, that motherly energy, making sure everybody's taken care of, this full moon, start doing that for yourself. Taking the time to get grounded, to open up your voice, yourself to your soul, what your soul is saying, what your guides are saying, and exploring that and allowing those messages to come through. And that's what I have for you, Jax. And hi, Sue. I saw you over at Miss Tarot D's channel. Good to see you, my dear. It's been a while.
Okay, so the first card I got is the Two of Wands. So there's something in you that's percolating. There's something in there, that some passion, some idea, something that really lights a fire in your belly, and you're thinking about it, you're chewing on it. You haven't acted on it yet. So if this makes sense, please let me know. And then you get the Eight of Cups, and I'm going to read this differently than I read it earlier. This is, to me, this is saying that you're walking away too soon from this idea. And it's just a warning. Don't walk away too soon from it. That it has value, that there is something within you that needs to come out. And you don't need to put it aside. You don't need to put it aside because you think who knows, that other people would judge you, or you don't have the time, or it's just a pipe dream. Whatever you tell yourself, um, put those aside, and really don't deceive yourself about the ins and outs of what that passion takes, because you got the Seven of Swords next, which is about deception. Usually this is about deception caused by other people, but it also can be about distorted thinking, deceiving ourselves. And so this is about seeing reality for the way it is, and what you can and can't do. But knowing with these other cards, to me, this is saying there's something you can do. There's something within you. I'm gaining my footing again. Yeah, like it's like you are about to start a journey. This is like the planning of the journey card. So, but you got the card Solitude, alone but not lonely. So whatever it is that's percolating in there, whatever passion, whatever path that you are solidifying in your life, it might take some solitude to really iron out what needs to be done for you. And it won't be about being lonely. It's you could be your own company through the process. And sometimes we need to be alone, in order to really get clarity about things in our life. That hermit, energy. And then you got the focus card, Moonbeams Focus. So this is just, I mean, these cards are pretty self-explanatory. Focus, it's telling you to focus on whatever it is, this path, passion, do or do not. There's no try. Yes, yes. So whatever this path is, whatever this journey is, passion, seed, what have you, just make sure you're taking time to focus on it. Don't be all over the place. Don't let social media distract you from doing what you need to do for yourself in order to be happy, through whatever this journey is that's you're being called to do. So that's the reading I have.
Alrighty. So we have some people popped in. Sue Toffee popped in. And yes, it is a full moon tonight in Cancer. So if people can check out the moon tonight, do so. But yeah, those cards. Yep. What Jack's been going through, those cards. But when you start saying hermit, the minute you said hermit, I was shuffling for our next reading. And guess what came out of my hands immediately as you said hermit? I turned the card over and I cut the hermit. So this is weird. Every time I'm following behind you, a card either
Yeah, it's like an echo.
It's an echo.
Yeah.
So, woo. I love that kind of stuff. Oh, you are welcome, my dear. You take good care of yourself. Oh, and there goes the cat. Wow. So up next, Sybil says she is here. So I'm just circling Sybil's name. Let's see if I can find her name so you can see it. And Sybil is here. I'm still looking at your cards.
I'm still shuffling.
Because this emerald papyrus is intense. And they switch everything around. They don't have pages. They make pages, oracles. They make sometimes the queen. The king. It gets a little confusing. It's a gorgeous deck, but okay. Alrighty. Okay, so Sybil, this card came up again, variance. And so when I get multiple cards for readings, this is like a universal sign for me that this is like a message for the collective. And this is a wonderful card to prove that, because again, this is about us being in alignment with our ego and our soul being in alignment and finding balance with each other. And, sometimes if our ego gets a bit harsh on ourselves, our spirit there is to remind us that we are worthy of, self-love, love from others. Like that saying goes, you are worthy and I am enough, basically. And the one line from that paragraph that wanted to re-echo is, if you are experiencing something that doesn't feel quite right, take a deep breath and come back to your center. And this is a good time to be able to do this because I did get the hermit card, and we are in that hermit season. We're in winter. So, again, this is a good time to go within, sit, and reflect. And if you feel like you're not quite in alignment, or if you need to find your center, this is the perfect time to do that through relaxation, meditation, getting enough water, getting enough eating properly, getting enough sleep, and reconnecting to the earth, to the natural rhythms of the earth. That helps, that energy, that magnetic energy. That's what it's meant there for, to help us be grounded, to keep our bodies healthy for entertainment purposes only. Always see a professional doctor. I had to add that in there as I started talking about being in nature to make us feel better. So, but yes, the earth is there, its energy is there. It's there just to provide for us. Mother Earth is here to provide for us. So taking that time this year for going into that hermit mode. Now, your underlying energy is a beautiful Six of Wands, Winter Wands. So right now we've got this underlying energy of feeling success. It feels like this is that alignment has been something you've been working on presently, and with being in that hermit mode, you are experiencing, maybe if not fully consciously of it, but that Six of Winter Wands. And look at that, she's an angel here on top of this too. And the Six of Wands is about success, accomplishment, taking pride in what you have accomplished. And so you are carrying forward through the winter with this beautiful angel. That sense of, and she's even playing her horn for you, or her flute, celebrating everything that you are achieving while being in this downtime. And from the Emerald Papyrus, I got the Oracle of Wings. Look at that, that's the ibis. Amazing,
Wow.
amazing picture. And in this deck, this is considered a Page of Swords. And so, of course, the Pages of Swords being, with it, wings being swords, it's someone who's intellectually curious. They want to explore new thoughts, new ideas, new ways of communication. And it's also about a quest of spiritual knowledge. So, again, being in hermit mode, this is the perfect time for that. And there is something there in the book that I wanted me to acknowledge, and it's called an illumination. And now that we're in the full moon, it talks about intellectual growth, mental exploration, and new perspectives. And what just jumped right out is seeking deeper truth. So we are looking at this time of year, being in the hermit mode, to start exploring what our deepest truths are, who we are spiritually, who we are as a soul, what we want to do with life, and regain reconnected with the earth, and regain reconnected with ourselves, and bringing our soul and our ego into alignment so that we can continue developing further. So that's what I have for you, Sybil. Thank you, my dear.
Okay, I got the Six of Wands. Yep. So this is an important card for you. So you got it twice. So this to me says because of the other cards, I'm reading the tarot cards in light of the oracle cards. So keep that in mind. This to me is telling me to not let other people dim your shine. Don't let the world dim your light. You have gifts to give to the world. You have passions you can dive into. You have a wonderful personality to give to the world. And don't let anyone take those gifts, those or even successes that you've achieved in life, to try to take you down a peg or two. Life can do that. Like, life isn't easy, life is hard, people suck. So this is about boundaries. This is about saying that is as far as I'm going to let you influence me. That's what a boundary is. The next card you get is the Five of Swords. And this is a card of strife, of winning at all cost, even if it makes you miserable. So do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? That's how I read this card. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Sometimes you need to walk away from fights. You have to say, you have the right to say, don't engage with me because I need to focus on myself. Do not cause strife in my life. I need to walk away from it for my own happiness. It's almost like the drama card, avoid the drama, avoid the conflicts that don't concern you. Don't get dragged down by the negativity in life. Which is so easy to do. It's so easy to just get weighed down by the conflicts and the weight of the world. The next card you got is the Fool, and this, I think, in light of the other cards, like I said, I'm reading this as to be yourself. And to not let anyone else influence the path that you go. Don't let the negative thoughts, your distorted thinking, send you down the wrong path. This is a card of knowing who you want to be and going for it. It's about not having the baggage. It's not letting the baggage weigh you down, and to be the fool. To be willing to be the fool of your life, to do what's right, even if other people, don't agree with it or don't respect it. Like, there might be something that you really enjoy doing, and other people are like, well, what's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this card is saying you need those boundaries with other people. Is what I'm saying. So because you got the protection card next, and it says set personal boundaries. Are there people that are influencing you needlessly? Are there people who are getting in your way? Are there people who are pushing your boundaries, ignoring your boundaries, anything like that? Because the next card you got, protection, another card from a different deck, also says protection. So you need to protect yourself. That's what it's telling me. It's a ring around the moon, protection. So you need to protect yourself. You need to uphold your boundaries because you're worth it. You're worth having boundaries and having them respected. So that's the reading I have for you.
Wonderful. Man, I love these readings tonight. You're on fire, girl. That girl is on fire. No, I'm not no Alicia Keys, but I just had to go into that whole. So we've had a couple new other people join us. We've had Cat Goddess and Andrew join us. So we have been on for a bit. We have read for 4 individuals so far. I need to make sure that Kristen's okay. I let them know we'll do our best to get to them to a reading tonight. Unless, Mona, I know we've read for you a couple times. If you might be willing to give up your slot for somebody who we haven't read before, that would be appreciated. You don't have to, but just putting that out there. We have Polly and Mona next, and then Cat Goddess and Andrew asked for readings. So what's your energy level at right now? Read for Polly, Mona, and then see how you are after. So I want to respect your energy and your time.
Yeah. Well, let's do that.
So Polly, you are still here, my dear. I know I asked if you were here before, and I saw that you had said yes. So I believe you are. Polly, like from, what was the name of that movie? Daddy, Papa, can you hear me? It's like,
oh,
Yeah. Barbara Streisand, that movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Polly, are you here,
What's
my
the name of
dear?
the movie?
I can see the picture and everything. I can't read the title above it. The Barbara
It's the Jewish
Streisand.
one, right?
Yep, she cut her
Yeah.
hair. She pretended she was a
Pretends
boy.
she's a boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Jewish study.
Mhm.
Polly, my dear, are you here? If not, we'll jump to, okay, Polly or Mona. Are one of you ladies here? Yentl.
Yentl, thank you.
Yay! Thank you, Janet. How are you doing, my dear? So, going once and twice for Polly or Mona. If not, I'm just going to jump to somebody we haven't read for yet. So, all right, I think we're going to go Cat. So, Cat Goddess or Andrew, are you here? I know sometimes we have to take a phone call or run off and life happens. But Cat Goddess or Andrew, are you here? So, whoever pops in and says, I'm here first, will be read for next. Andrew says he is here.
Good.
So, we will read for Andrew. So, I'm going to have to put these cards back. Here, let me just put those over here. So I started pulling for. So Andrew and Cat Goddess are here. Okay. So Andrew. Got it, girl. Thank you. Thanks, Sassy Boo. I call her Sassy Boo. Okay, Polly, we called a little while ago, but you didn't respond. So we went ahead and just jumped to Cat Goddess. So we'll give it a try when we're done with those two. Ooh, Divine Feminine. So, okay. Oh, you're Andrew. Again, certain cards are coming up. They're collective messages. So if we can't get to somebody tonight, a lot of these cards that are coming up, they really are for the collective. There's a strong message in those. Oh, excuse me. All righty. Are you still pulling cards?
Yes.
Okay. So, Andrew, I got the Divine Feminine for you. I'm just going to take your name down here really quick. And the Divine Feminine is being in touch with the Divine Feminine. We need her to have balance with the Divine Masculine, because with one without the other, we are unbalanced. We both contain, the divine essence of masculine and feminine in all of us. Both of them are within us, and this one here is acknowledging the divine feminine in your life, whoever she may be, whatever spiritual path that you are on. So this is a reminder of connecting with her, honoring her, and calling on her when needed, and calling on her within yourself when needed. Your tarot card, another, the Winter Chariot. This is the third time this card has come up tonight. And so the Chariot is about taking control of our lives, our destinies. We have the black and the white swan, the balance of the light, the shadow, the yin, the yang. So maybe we're needing to focus maybe more on the divine feminine, or maybe you're even experiencing a sense of connection with either the divine feminine, or feeling that divinity within the women that are that's within you, but also within your life. And I love that Chariot. She's riding that. She's fearless. She's controlling. She's not controlling the swans. She's in tandem with them. They're all one together. It's her shadow, it's her light, and swans are about transformation. So moving forward into a new time with this full moon of self-discovery and transformation. Your underlying card is the Three of Winter Cups, and the Three of Cups is all about celebrating with those that you love. Um, Celebrating oneself, getting out together. The cups are about emotions, relationships, friendships, and it's a beautiful card of celebration. Again, getting together with those that are part of your tribe, that feel, that resonate with you, that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, and those others that support you emotionally and what makes you happy. So it's a beautiful card of I'm looking for a certain word, um, but it'll come to me. There's a certain word that I want to use. Three of Cups. It's that camaraderie. It's again the sense of community coming together. Um, yes, the sense of community, being a part of finding your own tribe and having that beautiful emotional empathic connection and support with each other, almost like a support. I'm gay, also like a support group. There are people that you can go to. But the cups doesn't necessarily mean having a drink. It's about sharing one's emotions, what makes them happy, what makes them unique, and being able to hold that space and celebrate each other and our individuality. And your emerald papyrus is the Two of Wings, which is the Two of Swords. And that has to do with making a decision. So we're at a place right now in life with this full moon that there's a decision that has to be made, kind of like at a crossroads, and really focusing on keeping your thoughts clear while balancing those emotions. So a decision needs to be made, maybe to be a part more of certain people that resonate with you. There may be those that you might want to hang out with, but may not share your same um, things that make you happy, that bring you fulfillment, that bring you joy. Um, and this could also possibly represent like a workplace or a workforce, but I'm feeling like this is more of a spiritual, especially focusing on the divine feminine and just embracing everything that you are and that decision. It just feels almost like the decision has been made and she's coming up out of the water like in a baptismal. So I'm just going to stop right there, Andrew. I'm going to give it over to Kristen and see what she got. It's always nice to read for somebody new.
Yeah. So the first card I got is the Nine of Swords, and this is a card of anxiety. So there's something that's weighing on you, that's making you anxious, making you ruminate over something that's bothering you, that's weighing on you. The next card you got is Five of Pentacles. And this is a card of vulnerability. This is a card of turning to other people when you feel like it's too much, when life has gotten too much, when you feel like you are lacking resources or lacking emotional stability. Like, men are often taught from a young age that they shouldn't be vulnerable, that they shouldn't have strong emotions like sadness and a want, desire, for support and for other people and community. There's that rugged individualism that we have in our country. If you're American, I don't know what country you're at. But the whole rugged individualism, the whole idea that you need to suppress your emotions, I think this card is just saying, stop doing that. You can turn to other people when things are hard. You can let it out. There are people out there who will allow you, who will hold space for you when things get difficult. And it may take time to find them. It may take a long time because Seven of Pentacles is next. And this is about doing the work, putting the work in, and having the patience to see it come to fruition. So it might take some patience, some time to find the right people in your life who can create that space for you. You're American. Okay. Okay. Um, so it might take time to find the people who are right for you to give you the space to be who you authentically are. And we all have a range of emotions, and anger is not the only emotion men should be allowed to express, and which often is the case. But there's more to you than the anger. There's more to you than what you are protecting yourself from. Just let the wall down, give it time, you'll find your people. Okay, the next is you got Carrie. What is always mine? That's that rugged individualism. What are you carrying on your back? What do you think that you have to do alone? What is it that is weighing you down? What is, it could be a thought, an emotion, a decision, a role in life. Something is weighing you down. It could be a job, what have you. And this is saying, take some of that burden off. Don't be afraid to turn to other people. It's the same message. Don't be afraid to have a support system, to find the right friends who will do that, or the right family members. And the funny thing is, you mentioned like 2 words earlier, Heather, and I pulled 2 cards that, well, while you said the words. So I got celebration and support. And you said both words. And so I think this is about finding people who will celebrate you and who will support you. Maybe things aren't bad right now. Maybe this hasn't come to fruition yet. Maybe, life is grand right now. But there's always a time when things are low, when your life is low and you need support and you feel alienated and you feel like you can't turn to people. That's not true. There are people out there that you can find, a community, friends, family, a group of people who can be there for you. So that's the reading I have.
Okay. When you said celebration, all I could hear was celebrate good times. Come on. Oh, that was one of the best songs to skate to back in the 80s. All righty. So Andrew, thank you for letting us read for you. It's always nice to read for new folks when they pop in. And Cat Goddess, you are next. And then Polly said she was here. So are you okay with Cat Goddess?
Yeah.
Are you ready for another reading? So we have Cat Goddess, and let's see. Andrew said, not grand. The card you pulled, it's current energy, hoping it gets better.
Oh.
That's why I think too with your cards is, connecting with those that, bring you joy, that accept you for who you are and that celebrate the low times and the good times,
Yes.
Depending, doesn't matter what you believe in, what who you are. It's just that beautiful self-acceptance and emotional joy. So during those difficult times, those are the best people to have in, your corner. So we wish you the best.
Yes.
All righty. Ooh, and Cat Goddess. How interesting. Yes, exactly. Okay. She says, no, I'm going to have that song. Well, it's a good song to have coming into the new year. It's a positive song. We want positive energy coming into the new year. So I got the card Soul Mating. And now I'm kind of funny on the concept of soulmates and this and that because that's other, because a lot of times people put so much emphasis on I'm not whole unless I have a soulmate. I'm not whole unless I'm with somebody else. And a lot of times soulmating is really also learning to make sure that we're connected to our own soul, that we ourselves are whole, that when we look for a relationship, that we're not expecting somebody to fill a void or something within us, that we should be able to fill ourselves. When we have to, whether this is, a deep friendship, a deep bond with a friend, a loved one, or an intimate partner, um, instead of one fitting, filling in something that the other doesn't have, it's more powerful, it's more beautiful when each individual is full of themselves in that positive way, where when they come together, it's like twice the amount of, how do I even put this into words? It's like it's extra the energy. It's a more beautiful, more supportive, because one is not relying on the other. You both bring all beautiful aspects, and the dark. I mean, we are light and dark beings, and so when we embrace that in each of ourselves and we come together, that allows for a beautiful union, a beautiful, where we can heal one another in ways that, and support each other. So I'm going to stop with that. Sometimes it's hard to put into words. Um, but it says here, a new encounter or a deepening of an already existing union will profoundly change the way you perceive unconditional love. And chemistry between two people does not mean that they are life partners. You have entered each other's lives to awaken, expand, and open your hearts so wide that they may never close again. I think that's beautiful, because sometimes those relationships, they come to us when we need them. We provide support. We can provide some healing. We can be there to help us through moments in our lives. And sometimes they're here for a season as a reason, as that old saying goes. When it comes to your tarot, I got the Winter Hanged Man, which is actually a woman, but again, looking at relationships maybe now from a different perspective, or you are looking at relationships from a different perspective. Sometimes this is, they consider this kind of like the sacrifice card, where we turn ourselves upside down, and she's, trying to read a book upside down to be able to gain more knowledge by looking at things from a different perspective. And your underlying energy is the Four of Winter Cups. So this is, again, taking the time. You're not satisfied. There are cups in front of her. She knows that none of them are appealing to her right now. This could be just, she's feeling bored, maybe a little apathetic right now, but right now nothing is interesting her, and that's okay. Because sometimes we just don't need to always have something. Sometimes we can look at our options and say, no, I want something else. I want something different. I want something better. Same with our relationships. So again, the Hangman, looking at things from a different perspective. So let's look at that from a different perspective. Her not willing to, or this individual, this energy, not willing to look at any other possibilities right now. So yeah, but another card that goes with that, and I'm thinking more of maybe not giving maybe one of those cups a chance, but from the Emerald Papyrus, I got the Eight of Wings, which is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords in traditional tarot is the woman who is, her eyes are loosely bound. They can easily take the blinders off, and she can get herself out of her bondage, and she can walk right through the swords. So the swords are those mental entrapments that we put on each other. So again, making sure that when we're looking at our relationships or wanting to attract somebody into our lives, that any negative thoughts about or experience that we're afraid of, to know that we can move through those. We have the power to remove those bondages and walk through those swords. And with that Hangman, again, taking the time right now, this full moon, to look at possible other options, or seeing things again from, if we are in a relationship, from maybe from their perspective or a different perspective, but really to embracing that Four of Cups, making sure that if something isn't quite right, don't be afraid to move out of those. Then, don't be afraid to say, well, I'm not satisfied with what's in front of me. I'm going to wait maybe till something better. And That's what I have for you. I'm just going to stop right there at Cat Goddess and see what Kristen's got.
Okay. I'd love to know how many cats Cat Goddess has. I want to know that.
Ooh.
I have 7. Okay.
I don't know how you
So
do it.
I don't know either. Okay, so the first card you got is death. This is not a card of literal death. This is a card of transformation, difficult transformation. So this is just referring to those times in your life when either they have been or will be difficult, and then you end up irrevocably changed because of them. There are sometimes we go through traumas. Oh, you got 1 cat. Wow. I don't think I could stop at 1, but if I had an apartment, I guess I would have to. Anyway, I'm getting tired. Sorry, so I'm getting slapstick happy. So there's going to be experiences that irrevocably change you because of the difficulties that are involved. But you got the Empress card, which is a very mothering card. So I don't know if this refers to you, that you can mother yourself through those situations. Like you have this gift, a skill set to really give yourself the nurturing, that you need to get to the other side when things go to shit. You have the skill to sort of self-soothe yourself, through that process. So that's how I'm reading that. Then you got the 7 of Pentacles. I pulled this earlier. And so this is about patience. It's about, doing the work and just watching it grow. This is about, putting that investment into yourself and waiting for it to come to fruition. It's doing the hard work. I used to have more, but they passed away. Oh, I'm sorry. See, like that's actually what I was going to refer to originally. The death card, and then the Empress, like you being the mother, and having them pass. So maybe that's the difficult times, when a baby passes, a baby kitty passes. It's awful. It's awful. And you have to mother yourself through it. You have to be there for yourself, and allow yourself to grieve, and to be your own soft place to fall. And then with the 7 of Pentacles, it's just time. That's what it is. It's time will help you. Now, grief doesn't always go away. Like when you lose a loved one and when you lose a pet, that grief doesn't always just disappear. Sometimes you just have to create room around the grief for other things. And so I think that's what this card is saying, is like when those times are bad, it doesn't mean that you have to ignore them. And it's not saying you should ignore them. Grief is whether you're grieving the loss of anything, a job, a person, a cat, creating space around the grief. Enlarge that space around the grief so you create room for other things. The next card you got is Translucence, Love the Darkness. Love the darkness. So I think I wouldn't read this as love, horrible times. Like I'm thinking this is more about those spaces when you're alone, those soft, quiet spaces. When all the chatter is out and all you can hear is your own still small voice, coming through, and to listen to that voice. The last card you got is Day Moon, Love. So this card is just a nod to you saying, you're full of love, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful gift that you have, and do not let anyone spoil it. So that's the reading I have.
Wow, thank you. And so Kristen just mentioned she is getting slap happy. So I think that will have to be our last reading because I want to respect my reader, my guests. I'm getting a little bit there too. Polly and Mona, I do regular shows and you pop in. So next time I do a show and we do readings, I'll make sure I definitely get to you. Kristen, do you have anything coming up that you want to share with your channel?
No, like I'm hoping to do some videos, but nothing's planned at the moment. So.
Okay, and tomorrow I will be back with my poetry show at its regular time of 3 p.m. Although I'm thinking about changing it to 4, which would make it 7 Eastern. And then I'll be back for the Sacred Feminine on Monday. So thank you, Kristen, for
Thank you
hanging
for
out with
having
me last
me.
minute. I loved you for that. I love the readings. And again, wishing everybody a happy new year. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And Kristen and I will see y'all in another show or in chat. So good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.